Yes, I identify as a feminist. And should I say because why?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I believe in the equality of all people, and men and women, and I think that's what feminism really, at the crux is. My definition of feminism is political, social, and economic equality of men and women, and really all people.
I myself do not identify as a feminist. I do believe in equality between men and women, but I don't see myself as a person that goes out and really strives to relay the message of equality. I think there is a lot of equality, but I still see how women can see how there's a struggle between the differences, say like pay. I've heard different controversies on that. I haven't really read too much on it, but I can see the struggles that women face in a male-dominated society. My definition of feminism is the struggle of the equality between the sexes of male and female.
I definitely say that I'm a feminist because I think that both men and women are equal and that they should be given the same equal rights between both sexes. I would say that the definition of feminism is that men and women are treated equally and that they have the same equal rights, that men aren't superior to women and women aren't superior to men.
Yes, I am a feminist because I believe in the equality of all people, just in general, and of men and women. And I think that guys can learn a lot by letting women take positions of leadership on things that we have traditionally done. I think my definition of feminism is that it's the idea that society has oppressed women or not allowed them to do certain things since the beginning of time, and feminism is trying to open up opportunities for women and create an equality between men and women that hasn't ever been there before.
I do not identify myself as a feminist, partially because I think that the term feminist and feminism has slowly been, I think, eroded over time. Back when, like the feminist movement began and you had all these positive changes, but now I think that this term of feminism is now sort of unjustly labeled as women are better than men. And in my mind, I think that that is no better than just thinking that men are more better than women. So I do not identify myself as a feminist, more or less somebody who believes in equality of the sexes, but I think that that term now has been sort of thrown to the trash. My definition of feminism is equality between the sexes and having equal opportunities for both men and women, but ultimately for especially jobs, having the most qualified person in the position that they're most needed.
Okay, I would say I do identify as a feminist because it's probably, I feel like it's my role as a woman. It's my role to our gender, first of all, that I should support us. Why wouldn't I? And also it's just something I do believe in. My definition of feminism is probably similar to gender equality. Men and women are equal. However, I think it needs to be amended a little bit because I think that being equal sometimes implies being the same, and I think that that might be a disservice to everyone involved, because just like all men aren't created the same and all women aren't the same, so why would we say that men and women are the same? I think it opens up, so I would want to say that men and women deserve equal opportunities, but maybe they don't necessarily need to be treated equally, if that makes sense. Sort of with the debate about violence towards women. Well, if we're all created equal, then violence towards women is just the same as violence towards men, and I don't know if I could agree with that sentiment. So it's things like that where there are issues that I would want to amend the term equality to include a complementary type relationship between men and women.
Oh, hey. Didn't see you there. Do I identify as a feminist? Well, in the stereotypically accepted definition of the word, no, I am not. Because nowadays, people too often associate feminism with the belief that males are the source of all negativity in the world. Now, that's simply just not true. However, in the politically correct definition of feminism, I do represent that. And here's why. Whether you're a male, a female, or something else, you deserve equality. We all are privileged people. What is my definition of feminism, you may ask? Well, there are many interpretations of the word feminism, but the way I personally interpret such a misunderstood word is one that describes a society in which females are equally respected with their male counterparts. A society in which females get the same wages. A society in which females receive equal opportunities. A society in which girls do not have to be not confident just because they have a vagina.
Oh, hello there, Alexa. I do not consider myself a feminist because as a brother of 3 sisters, I am surrounded by women all the time, so I think us men need a little representation in society. Anyways, but I do support, women's sports, Title IX, all that stuff. That's great. Go women. Oh, thanks for asking, Alexa. My definition of feminism is more of like an extreme take on the whole women thing. Like women, marching in the streets with signs that say, go women, we don't have any rights, even though, I'm happy that they have rights, but I wouldn't consider myself a feminist. I would say it's more of like a extreme kind of a deal. So, yeah.
Okay, I do identify as a feminist because I think that it's important to have equality between the genders, especially like with what I'm interested in, science. There's a lot of like stereotypes between male and females, and I think it's important to have both sides represented. Okay, I think feminism is equality in all different areas between men and women.
No, I do not identify myself as a feminist. I think there's a huge difference between feminism and equality. I'm all for equality in every aspect, but I think that feminism is almost an extreme term of equality. Like I said before, I think there's a huge difference between feminism and equality. I think women and men should be the same in every aspect when it comes to employment, education, pretty much anything. I just think that feminism is a super extreme word for equality.
So, I do believe that I'm a feminist because I believe in equality for all people, whether that's race or gender or where you were, like your economic background. I don't think that matters. Everybody deserves to have the same rights to live, to a job, to anything in life, and I believe that's what feminism is all about. So I think that is a good cause to stand behind to help people achieve those goals of equality, and whether that's based off of anything. So my definition of feminism would be equality for everyone not based off of gender or social background or economic background, that everybody deserves the same rights to life, liberty, pursuit of happiness, just the right to do what they would feel is right for them, not to be determined on things they can't control, such as their gender. And I believe that feminism encompasses more than just helping women find a job or get the right to vote. It's a whole mindset that people need to readjust themselves to figure out how to treat women when you're speaking about them, thinking about them, and in relationship to men as well, and to not be biased towards men either.
I would say that I do identify as a feminist because I believe in equal opportunity for men and women, especially in the workplace. I feel like that is something that is essential in today's society, something that we should all affiliate ourselves with, even though the word feminist has a poor connotation to it. I would say that in the most general sense, I do refer to myself as a feminist. My definition of feminism is that it's the idea that we should have equal opportunity and unprejudiced and unbiased opinions when it comes to women in the workplace. It's very similar to what Martin Luther King tried to do in the 60s. It's people that don't have any control over, you don't have control over being a man or being a woman, and you shouldn't have to be subject to biases or not equal opportunity because of that. And everything in the workplace should be based on merit and things like that, and we shouldn't be focused at all on whether a person applying for a job or applying for a promotion is a man or a woman.
After hearing the politically correct definitions that you read, I kind of thought about it, and I can see myself being a feminist, but in certain aspects. One I take kind of like a stance on, especially is the military. I believe that it should be completely male-dominated. I do believe females have a role, but not on the front line. I think it's a different experience where men and women, just how we're genetically engineered. I think that certain women do have, the physique and the mental to go out and do certain acts like that, but it's definitely more masculine act. Warfare is not for the women, I don't think. So that's where I stand on that. But for other topics like pay and stuff like that, of course, I think, it should be equal. If a woman does as much work as a man, equal pay should definitely be given to them. Stuff like that. I'm pretty feminist, I guess. Just certain aspects, especially the military one, that's where I kind of draw my line.
After hearing you read the definitions about feminism and what it means to declare yourself a feminist, it doesn't really change my perceptions about feminism and declaring yourself a feminist. Because, as I mentioned earlier in the resting room, I think that the term feminism has been warped by cultural influences to now sort of have the mentality that women are above men, just for the sake of women being above men. And I see that as inequality, hence I don't see that connection between equality between the sexes. However, since I do believe in equality between the sexes, I guess by the absolute definition of feminism, I would be a feminist. However, I think that there's words that have been morphed over time that, they're supposed to mean one thing. However, through cultural shapings, they become something else. And I think that this term, to declare yourself a feminist, like I'm a feminist, or feminism in general, I think it's almost outdated and it has sort of a negative mentality of inequality between it.
I agree with everything that it said. I mean, I would like equal rights for men and women too. I think it's just the name, or the title feminism kind of has a bad correlation, more of a negative correlation in society just because of the past marches and kind of extremists that bring down the name feminism. But, I mean, I do believe in equal rights for men and women.
Reading those definitions, I would definitely identify myself as a feminist. And I think that the word is really misconstrued by an extremist group of individuals that kind of screw up the word and give it a different meaning than what it actually does mean.